let me show you guys the nastiest mutate deck that I have ever made, right? I love using this deck in historic unranked. It's really good at controlling the field, making sure that if there's any creatures that you just really hate, to take them out early. And the ramp is insane, right? Get the right cards, you could easily win turn 4, turn 5. Now, the main thing about this deck is there is one requirement, which is you need Cyber Cryptomancer in your opening hand. Now, you don't need Cyber Cryptomancer, but the amount of effort you're going to have to invest into mutating one creature is for naught, especially if that creature gets removed with some cheap removal spell, right? Cyber Cryptomancer, the hexproof, really does allow it to be protected from literally any removal. Now, keep in mind that this doesn't account for board clears or sacrificing like Shieldred's Edict, but that said, this does work against most of these super low elo unranked matches. Now, we're going to start off with a Bushwhack. Bushwhack is just really good in terms of making sure you want to attack very specific creatures that your opponent has. I'd like to think of it as really cheap spot removal along with the ability to search for these lands, because we do have three colors in this deck. We have black, green, and blue. So you really need to make sure you have your mana base really fixed, at least in hand or on the field in your first two turns. We have Lost Jit. I just put this in here mainly because it has three really good effects. Untapping lands, which allows us to play a lot of these more expensive cards, at flash speed, such as Pouncing Shore Shark, or these really expensive ones, Chittering Harvester or Archipelagore, right? Dirge Bat, also 6 mana. This really helps with that mana ramp. It also makes it so that target creature can't block this turn, right? I'll tell you why that's important in a second. But finally, it puts a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. Guys, I don't think I could explain the amount of times this has saved my creature from dying, right? Like putting a +1/+1 counter on this one creature you're gonna invest so much to really makes it a powerhouse. Now, keep in mind, once you put down Saber Cryptomancer, you already start out with one counter, right? Then you give it another +1/+1 counter from Lost Jit. Let's say that's 2, 3 counters at this point. When you put a Migratory Grainhorn for 3 mana and mutate it, you're gonna have a 6/7 creature, maybe by turn 3, for only 4 mana, not including the equip cost, right? That's insane, right? That's insane. So you could see the real way this wins is mainly through mana value, right? And then we have a lot of different types of bounce back slash spot removal. Turing Harvester is, it really goes against a lot of these hex proof type decks. It also goes against anything that prevents the opponent from being targeted, right? Because it says each opponent sacrifices a creature. So the reason I love this card is because no matter what, someone's gonna sacrifice a creature. While this might be better in Commander, making sure every opponent sacrifices a creature, in 1v1, or at least in normal historic, this is also really good because your opponent can't really do anything to not let this happen, right? This is always going to resolve. Going back here, you got Cyber Cryptomancer. Why do I love this card? Um, there's a lot of hexproof cards that I could think of, maybe not off the bat. A good one could be like hexproof, right? Let's just search that. Hopefully my system doesn't screw up, right? And let's look for creatures because there needs to be a creature, right? And so these are a lot of the options you could choose from. You really want cheap mana because you don't really want to make it a really expensive card to play. And so yeah, we have stuff like Glade Cover Scout, Basara Tower, but why don't I choose these? The main reason is because Flash is insane. A lot of these life gain decks and or these mill decks, if and aggro decks, right? They start with a 1/1 creature turn 1. So let's say they start the game. They put a 1/1 creature, you put down your second land, and then when it goes back to their turn, they're going to try attacking with this 1/1 creature, which you can easily kill. This really affects your opponent's ramp, right? Now, another reason why this is good is obviously hexproof. This is going to make this one creature that we mutate really, really hard to remove. But most importantly, I would argue, is backup. The reason why backup is good is because this puts a +1/+1 counter on this creature, right? You're usually gonna back up Cryptomancer. The reason why this is insane is because when you mutate it, this +1/+1 counter adds +1/+1 to your mutated creature. So instead of a 3/4, you're gonna get a 4/5. And now this one counter really does help defend your board as you try to accumulate these mutate effects. A really common mutate card that I noticed was Hex Paradise Druid. The reason why I don't like using Paradise Druid is because it's hexproof as long as it's untapped, making it really prone to spot removal. Whereas something like Cyber Cryptomancer, not only can you flash it and maybe kill a turn one card, you can also you can also add this +1/+1 counter, which will, you know, give it insane protection. Let's move back. Okay. Um, our next card is going to be Eternal Thirst. Now, I only run one Eternal Thirst, but I would like Eternal Thirst and Unexpected Fangs to be like somewhat combined. The main purpose of these cards is they give us a +1/+1 counter, but more importantly, lifelink. When you only have one creature, if you attack with it every turn, right? And let's say you have a Pouncing Shore Shark, you get the one counter automatically from Cyber Cryptomancer, assuming you have a turn one. Um, you get 5 health each turn. And a lot of these cards are meant for field control, such as Archipelago, which taps things down, sacrificing, stuff like that. So there's most of the time not going to be enough creatures to block your mutated creature, making lifelink the win or lose card, right? Especially against these hyper aggro or these slower decks, right? If you have an insane amount of life, how can they kill you? Eternal Thirst is actually just something I like to add just because it goes so insanely well with Chittering Harvester and Brushwhack. Because this essentially says enchanted creature has lifelink. When a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So if you mutate with the Chittering Harvester, your opponent sacrifices a creature, which then gives you a +1/+1 counter. Insane. And you could re-trigger this effect, and it's got lifelink. Another really good combo that I could think of off the top is, let's say you have Cyber Cryptomancer and you have 3 mana open. You can put on an Eternal Thirst, and maybe there's this 1/1 that gains life or something that you really hate. Use a Bushwhack, remove it, and gain an extra +1/+1 counter, which, keep in mind, when you mutate, goes over the mutated creature. I also have Ozlet the Shattered Spire. Bro, this card is just amazing in of itself. It does anything and everything you want, right? An additional +1/+1 counter, with Unexpected Fangs or even Lost Jit. This is going to easily ramp up your creature to a beast. But more importantly, this is able to put +1/+1 counters by itself. Now, I don't cycle the Ozlet as often, mainly because it's that good. But let's say you're about to lose, cycling is just a little plus. Now, Sea Dasher Octopus. The reason why I only have 2 of these is mainly because I do think that card draw is really good, but its stats are a bit low. So this is mainly for turn 1, turn 2 type play. Um, and it's kind of good late game. I'll explain why. So turn 1, turn 2, let's say turn 2 you put down Cyber Cryptomancer, turn 3 you attack, you get Sea Dasher Octopus down. The reason why this is really good is it synergizes well with a lot of these effects. Now, for those of you guys who don't understand how mutate works, right? You guys will see how it works when we do some gameplay, but essentially you're going to start off with one creature, right? Any creature. It could be any of these creatures. And then if the creature has a mutate option, you could essentially do this thing called mutate, which puts this creature on top of your existing creature, which gives it all the abilities of the creature you mutated with. Let's say you have Cyber Cryptomancer, right? You put a +1/+1 counter, so if you mutate with Migratory Greenhorn, you could decide whether Migratory Greenhorn is on top or bottom. If Migratory Greenhorn is on top, your creature turns into this 3/4 with a +1/+1 counter that's able to activate this effect. So when this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So whenever you have multiple effects, right? So let's say you have this and you have Pouncing Shore Shark. If it's already mutated once, when you mutated it again, it triggers all the mutates before it. So it's going to trigger Migratory Greenhorn and then Pouncing Shore Shark if you use Pouncing Shore Shark afterwards. So Sea Dasher Octopus, like I said, it's mainly made for that card draw, but also late game, let's say you have some Pouncing Shore Shark effect. Once you have Pouncing Shore Shark down, you can cheaply activate of pre-existing effects for 2 mana. That's another reason why I kind of like this card. I only have 2 though, because like I said, a lot of these other stuff really do help control the board. Insatiable Hemophage, I guess, is insane. I feel like it's highly underrated, mainly because it kind of like why I like Chittering Harvester so much. It counters or it's able to remove life no matter what. Once again, it's each opponent. They lose life, so it's not considered combat damage, and it's when it mutates. So if you have 2 insatiable hemophages, each time this creature mutates, each opponent loses 4, 6, then 8, then 10. Like it ramps up really insanely. And when a person only has 20 life, each life counts. Dirgebat and Archipelago are the most expensive cards. These are mainly big bad creatures, I guess. Archipelago is what I like a bit more. Um, when this creature mutates, tap X target creatures, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Put this down, turn 6, turn 7. 7 creatures your opponent controls can't do any damage to you. Insane card. It also has 7/7 base stats, so assuming you have any of these on here, right? Like an Ozolith, Unexpected Fangs, a Lost Jit, you're gonna maybe get a 8/8, 9/9, or a 10/10. We also got Dirgebat. Destroying a creature is always good. It's kind of better than Chittering Harvester in that you could target what you want to destroy. This is really good against, these token decks or these cheap aggro decks where one creature buffs other creatures, stuff like that. We got Migratory Greenhorn, right? When this creature mutates, you put a basic land onto the battlefield. Dreamtail Heron is mainly to control your mana ramp, right? So whenever this mutates, you draw a card. Then you could give it some cheap mutations, like let's say Sea Dasher Octopus for essentially 2 mana, draw a card in addition to its other effects. Pouncing Shore Shark, I I think everyone knows how good this card is, mainly because as long as you mutate one time after using Pouncing Shore Shark, you're already net zero in terms of your losses, right? Because each mutate effect is essentially a type of removal. So a good example of this is, let's say you have a bounce card that's 2 mana. As long as you mutate twice, you already technically got the worth out of that mutate effect, right? But most of the time, you're going to mutate 4, 5, 6 times, and each time you mutate, you could bounce a creature. That's insane. If you get 2 of these, you could bounce double the amount of creatures. There's plenty of games where I completely just did not let the opponent do anything, right? Turing Harvester, I already talked about that. Archipelago, already talked about that. We do have our land base. This is a really finely tuned land base. we have a lot of basic lands. You can see 5, 3, 4. The main reason is Migratory Greathorn really needs these basic lands to work. Also, you want your early setup to be really good for these later cards, right? So if you don't have, let's say, two blue or one blue mana or one green mana, it really does fuck up your whole game. That's why you really need these basic lands. And these 8 cards are a great way to search for them in case you don't get them. In between, we have some really simple cards that this one scries, but all these cards are if it's 2 or more, right? This one scries too. Essentially, they act like a basic land in that they're untapped when you play them, allowing you to really continue that ramp. Okay, this is not a great hand because we have Dirgebat, one of the most expensive mutate spells, but we got Ozolith and Saba with options to get both green, blue, and that mana, so we don't really want to worry. Okay, so what do we maybe Golgari? I'm gonna start with the Fabled Passage into a blue, so we could play this Saba Cryptomancer next turn. Okay, we might be working with a Mutate deck. And turn. Just interesting. Or they just really like hex-proofed mana. That's kind of weird though. I feel like lower cost mana sources usually want to be the target of removals. Okay, we're gonna put this here for the time being, just because we don't really want anything to... We can play a black. Get the Ozolith. That way our Unexpected Fangs, if we do play it, really does... It's a Saproling deck. Okay. You can't do shit. Resolve. Right. I don't mind. I don't think we need a land right now. We'll go next. No attack and turn. Right. Hopefully he tries to attack with the Tendershoot Dryad. That way I could, you know. That becomes a 5-5. Why? Oh fuck. We might be screwed. No blocks. Come on. Fuck. That was not a great game, I'll be honest with you. Okay, this is actually one of the better hands we could get. We don't have a cheap mutate, but we do have spot removal, and we have scry. Early scry is always good. We don't need more of that. They're really nice. Okay, we're gonna just go with black. Hopefully, I guess we don't. Hopefully this, we can't really defend with him, but hopefully okay, good. He decided not to attack. That was the main goal of that. I'll be honest. I do think spot removal is better for the time period. Ooh, yeah. Because I don't like the fact that that's going to be gaining life. This might be a life gain deck. I feel like it's a cat deck though. Maybe, because he had Surveil. Now, because he's attacking with this one wing, he definitely has something up his sleeve. Okay. Great. We're gonna actually play Fabled Passage. I don't know why he's not letting this resolve, but he isn't. Tig Bigglesworth, come on. Mr. Bigglesworth. Green. We'll go for Dreamtail. Draw another land, it's fine. No attacks. We want to defend against Helpful Hunter if we can. Okay, no blocks. Reason why he's attacking with that is he has some type of spot removal. Okay. Great. This one I'm thinking. Alright. So, this is kind of a hard decision to make. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the best course of action is probably this into this with the Ozlith as our second card. Okay, that's great. Now we have Pouncing Shore Shark. No attacks, okay. As long as we survive this with more than 10 life, we should be okay. Then we can bounce back probably the Good Fortune Unicorn. I don't want to bounce back the Wary Thespian. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Oh, we're cooking. We are cooking. Right, we still have 4. Good. We're not going to do any attacks. Because hopefully he plays something. Then we bounce back the Good Fortune Unicorn. Right? Bounce back the Good Fortune Unicorn. I don't want to bounce back anything else because they got benefits when you play them, but now he has to play the Good Fortune, or he could play the Good Fortune Unicorn with little to no benefits, you know? Right? Then we have another Pouncing Shore Shark, which is insane. Ooh, okay. Now watch this. Good game. Is he conceding? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana up. We could do... Okay. Okay. I think I know what I want to do. So then we're going to be attacking. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could do 7. So let's do Insatiable Homophage, Pouncing Shore Shark. We're going to bounce back 4 of his creatures right now. Let's go with black. Maybe we should have done blue, but it's fine. Okay. Oh, we should have done Insatiable. Fuck. We fucked up. Okay. We probably are gonna go with this right here. Oh, we don't have another blue. It's okay, we could survive. And we could pull back the Thespian easily. Okay, we fucked up, but we still won. Sometimes it's like that. Uh, okay. We don't want chittering. Once again, 2 mana, expensive. We already got mana screwed last time. But at least we have all 3 colors, right? So we are set to play a lot of these creatures. Okay. Let's see if it has haste. Okay, we're actually not gonna play Saiba, so we can take care of that Dragon Master Outcast, right? We'll search for another blue. Oh no, we'll do green because we already have everything we need. And next, enter. Okay. So before they could, because this could generate a shit ton of 5/5s, which we don't like. I need a pet. I don't have one. Okay, now we're gonna wait to make it like we are holding a counter spell, resolve, and when they attack, try to skip it real quick. Dragon Master. Okay. There we go. Easy. My turn. Play this right here. Get this Dreamtail Heron out of here. Okay, no attacks because they got 2 black. 2 death touches, not 2. That sounded so racist. But I swear to God, I'm not racist. They got 2 death touches with reach, which is insane actually. But we're gonna, as long as they don't. Ooh. Target. So you see, that's exile target non-land. When exile target non-land permanent, that's why they're taking. They don't know what's happening, right? It's because we have hexproof, which makes a lot of these target effects, which is so many, just completely useless. This has ward 2, for. So they okay. I feel like we could wait a turn, so we're gonna play. Yeah, I feel like we should start drawing. First, we're gonna play this land to thin out our deck just a bit more. Or a black, maybe. See, now we can't attack, but that insatiable hemophage is gonna do some work. And next, no attacks on turn. So hopefully they don't have a insane land thing. Or even if they do, it's upkeep, right? Yeah, we got it. Okay, that was a terrible play on their end, but okay. They could attack with the dragon sniper. I don't know why they're not. So now we're gonna play this here. Resolve, auto pay. Okay. And now we're just gonna act no attacks. Enter. And I forgot they have reach. See, the fuck ups is why I lose a lot of times to this deck, but. Okay, we're gonna play Unexpected Things. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're gonna go no attacks on turn. Because we could play this flash, so. They really have bad card draw right now. But it's a really good thing we took care of those. We have so many. Okay, you see a 2 mutate. I'll show you guys what I mean by why mutate is good now. If they attack with the Dragon Town Sniper, we might be set. Okay, now they have card draw, so we need to finish this fast. Or if the storms, they can't attack with that. Look how cheap. This activates essentially a destroy, which we're gonna destroy this shit right here. Right. Ooh, that's amazing. Play a Lost Jet. Attack in. And if he lets me attack face, I get to draw a card. If not, I get to have a free +1/+1 counter. End turn. So in 2 hits, I could kill him. Like I said, board clears really fuck up this deck. A lot of times though, if you do have the right cards, you could easily flash a Pouncing Shore Shark. Not a lot of times, but here and there. You could flash a Pouncing Shore Shark or whatever the squid is. What is this? Cast a spell for each of that spell's colors. Okay. If he attacks in, we're fine. Okay, he didn't, but it's okay. Okay. Let's kill the Ramos dude. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the line, but we win, right? And the reason we win is purely because, let me show you. We do it so that target creature can't block this turn. Then we attack, do this in, and we have perfect F6. Okay, you see that? Kiora be looking different though. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I don't want Dreamtail because I don't think we need it right now. I'd rather have something else. I'd rather have lands, I'll be honest, because, you know, you could get land screwed really easily. Oh, shit. Don't counter it. He has a counter. Does he have a counter? Oh, Heist. We could work with that. Oh, 3 mana, he might have a counter. That's fine though. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys something insane with these counter decks. So you wanna play this, you know. Go for another green. So essentially, Pouncing Shore Shark says you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Even though that is a creature he's gonna control, it's my creature, right? So he's essentially giving me free card draw. That's all you want, buddy. Unless he gets the chew drop, which is gonna suck. He hasn't played it, so he most likely didn't get the 2 drop. But now he has 4, so he should be able to hard cast something. Come on, buddy, just play it. Yes! Now watch this. He's gonna be like, oh, he has a creature. The fuck? Now I'm literally gonna get this Dirge Bat back into my hand. Funniest shit in the world, my guy. We'll go blue. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, more than enough. I love that interaction. Now he essentially spent what? Spent only one mana, but like there's a lot of heist slash steal cards. So pouncing shore shark, I love it when that happens. No clue who this is. It looks like a person from Elden Ring. But yeah. You are done, buddy. You are toasted. Ooh, I love this color. It's a really nice effect. He probably salt quit, but I could see why. This deck is kind of crazy. And against these 7 decks, cause dude, I love that interaction. They play something. They put all that effort into stealing my cards just so I could get them back. Ugh. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, whew, it's like, oh my god, it's like having a like if anyone's played a life gain deck, there's cards that say your opponents can't gain life. It's that type of feeling. You could just play this. He doesn't have counters. We'll play a black. He's probably done, I guess. It's kind of crazy we can't see exiled cards though in the game. I just always thought that was kind of weird. Kiora, Kiora. Baba Boo. Let's see what we could get. I think we should just go with greens. Yeah, I don't know. Game. Let me see if I could see the exiled cards. Oh, come on. That was funny.